So, Tim, it's great to see you again. First of all, how are you?
I'm wonderful. Long season, covering the Premier League for NBC Sports. It's been brilliant, and this season's given us everything. Right? Highs at the top, lows at the bottom, and everything in between. But rest time now, so I'm going to enjoy some time with the family and some time at the beach.
Obviously, you mentioned your role with NBC there. You've got other projects on as well. Has it been a busy time for you, even though you're not playing anymore?
Yeah, I try to keep myself busy now that I'm done playing. I've enjoyed, trying my hand at a few different things. I'm a part owner of a football team here in Memphis who is having the best season in our 4-year history. So I'm enjoying watching the boys play and thrive. And of course, as I mentioned, being with NBC full time has just been it's been everything I hope for. It's been challenging. It's been rewarding, and I just look forward to many more years.
We know how deeply you care for Everton Football Club. How do you describe your emotions this season, and particularly the past couple of weeks of the season when we came back in such dramatic fashion against Crystal Palace?
Every emotion. I had happiness and sadness and everything in between. And like I said, I rode those emotions, with and for the club, and I was disappointed at times, and again, other times I was elated. And I think that more than anything, particularly for Everton Football Club, but for fans, for every football club, to see what the Evertonians did at the end of the season, whether it was the singing at Leicester and they stayed for an hour after the match, whether it was the scenes down Goodison Road or the flares or everything that's good about football, Everton and Evertonians and all Everton fans showed. And I think that for me, it just stood out. It was palpable. You could see a group of fans and players come together. There's so much discord and between fans and players at times. That happens. But there was the switch was turned, and it was time to dig in together. And at times when the boys needed it, the fans dragged them across the line and gave them that extra. And it's true. I mean, to have those fans so fervent, it would have given the boys an extra bit of gas in the tank. It would have given their legs an extra bit of freshness. It's very, very real. And so that's the goodness of football.
We know it was obviously a disappointing season overall on the face of it, but I wondered how that sort of journey was perceived in America. You saw the best of Everton in many ways, as you mentioned, with the fans and the roller coaster of emotions. How was that perceived by Evertonians in America and general football fans as well?
Well, I think the roller coaster side of it, and I guess the disappointing side was there's a bit of a cliche, right? A club's too big to go down, and then some people kind of don't agree with that. I tend to agree with that. Now, that doesn't mean anyone's excluded from the drop, but yeah, I do. I look at certain football clubs, and Everton being one of them, and I think it is not good enough if a certain football club goes down, and that was Everton. And so, to be able to see them transform themselves under Frank Lampard. And it took a little bit, but that was natural because the team that he inherited was low on confidence. There was a lot of things surrounding the club, so he had to try and get all of the outside noise and try and focus it. And he did that, and it's a massive credit to Frank Lampard. And I think that it's natural. You never want these tough times, but I do genuinely believe Everton will not be in this situation again for a very, very long time. I do. I believe that. That's obviously on them to figure out as a group of players. But this fear and the hurt of such a disappointing season will galvanize them, will spur them on. It will give them a renewed sense of optimism to say, okay, we saved our blushes there. Now we don't ever want to go back.
You touched on the manager there. I wondered how impressed you've been by Frank Lampard since he came in, and how much will he be relishing now getting the lads back in for the first full pre-season?
I feel bad for the boys because rightfully so. He is going to be a taskmaster. He is going to, I think when I look at Frank Lampard, he's always been the right man for the job for me. Again, to have this on his CV, the ability to save a team from relegation, even though you don't want it there, is going to pay dividends down the road. And I just look at Frank. He's a young manager. He's still learning his craft. He had a really good success at Derby. just missed out on promotion. Had a very young Chelsea team playing well. We know what happened there. And then he takes on a really difficult project at the time he took over Everton. And I'm looking forward, probably for the first time, certainly in Premier League, in Frank Lampard's managerial career, to say, right, this is my team, these are my boys, and I'm going to run this show exactly the way I want it, and then push forward. And I think every manager now, it used to be this massive, it was real. People talked about, managers don't get time in the Premier League, and I still agree with that, but I don't like it. I think a manager should have time to plan and operate and perform that plan and try and execute that plan. If it doesn't work after a certain amount of time, okay. So I'd like to see Frank Lampard have a full preseason under his belt, get his ideas across, be able to exhale, right? Everybody was so uptight with relegation. Of course, that's natural. But now we'll see the best of this team and Frank Lampard. I'm just excited to see it.
Part of this new project as well is Kevin Thelwell coming in as director of football. It really feels like the two are on the same page in terms of the vision for the club and what they want to see, from the team going forward. How exciting do you think that is, the relationship between those two and what they could build here?
Well, I'm excited, for Kevin Thelwell to have come in and work with Frank. And I think I have my ideas about football. And when I look at a football club and the hierarchy and how it works, the manager and the director of football have to be in lockstep. It's really good to see the same ideas, the same vision, the same plan, just kind of that ebb and flow between the two, because that's what breeds success. And if you don't have it, then again, you're swimming upstream and there's no sense in even putting the effort in. So really good to see. Everton are coming back to the USA. Get your tickets now. Head to evertonfc.com/USA 2022.